Think of the fall of apartheid in South Africa, the civil rights movement in the United States, or more recently, the Arab Spring protests. None of these turning points were sparked in parliaments or presidential offices. Instead, they began in the streets, in communities, and among ordinary citizens who refused to stay silent. This is the power of civil society and social movements, the voice of the people when formal institutions fall short. Welcome back to the Learning Studio. You're watching our political science series, and today's lecture in our comparative politics section focuses on civil society and social movements, why they are so important in shaping policy and resisting authoritarianism. And don't forget, in our next episode, we'll dive into elections and voting behavior, the heartbeat of democracy, where we assess participation, legitimacy, and the real power of the ballot. What is civil society? Civil society is the network of organizations, associations, and groups that exist outside the government and business sectors. These include NGOs, unions, charities, religious groups, student organizations, and advocacy networks. Civil society gives citizens a platform to organize, debate, and push for reforms. It acts as a bridge between individuals and the state, ensuring that governments remain responsive. What are social movements? Social movements are collective efforts by people to challenge authority, demand change, or defend rights. They are often born in response to injustice, inequality, or abuse of power. Movements like women's suffrage, labor rights, or climate activism show how sustained pressure from below can reshape entire societies. Unlike civil society organizations, movements are usually less formal and more grassroots-driven. Why they matter in politics: policy change. Civil society often influences governments to adopt new laws or reforms. For example, environmental NGOs have pushed governments worldwide to pass climate laws. Democratic accountability. In weak democracies, social movements resist authoritarian backsliding by holding leaders accountable. Representation of the marginalized. Movements amplify voices that are often ignored by mainstream institutions, such as indigenous rights campaigns or LGBTQ+ activism. Examples in action. The civil rights movement in the U.S. reshaped racial laws and expanded democracy. Poland's Solidarity movement in the 1980s helped end communist rule. Global movements like Fridays for Future highlight how young people are shaping climate policies across nations. Challenges and risks. Governments often crack down on civil society, labeling activists as foreign agents or threats. Some movements lose momentum or fragment without achieving lasting change. Others may be co-opted by elites, weakening their original purpose. The key lesson is that democracy is not just built in parliaments, it's defended in streets, classrooms, workplaces, and communities. Civil society and social movements remind us that power ultimately belongs to the people, and when organized, citizens can challenge even the most entrenched authoritarian regimes. And that's today's lecture on civil society and social movements, the real drivers of democratic change from the ground up. In our next episode, we'll explore elections and voting behavior. Why do people vote or sometimes stay home? How do elections reflect legitimacy? And what can voter behavior tell us about the strength of a democracy? This is the Learning Studio, where learning never stops. See you in the next episode.